as being part of a big community of Sarasota here, it's times like this we're asking for your help. My friend Denise is fighting for her life, and we're here today to learn all about it and how we can all help as a community. It's Tyler.
And Cha-Cha.
And we are out.
And About Sarasota.
So come with us as we talk to Denise and learn about her fight today.
I got everything going for me, free from all the things that bore me, riding all around the city, all the girls that look so pretty. I'm fine when I'm out and about.
All right, we are here with my friend Denise Howell and Jeff Howell. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
This is one of the most heart-touching stories, and anybody out there, you never know when you have to go through something as crazy as this. I mean, cancer, the word cancer alone is a scary, scary, scary word. However, Denise, can you talk to our viewers a little bit about your fight and how it all began?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's probably about 4.5 years ago. I started just experiencing headaches,
Okay.
But I've always had headaches, so I didn't really think anything about it. They just got more and more intense, to the point where, I couldn't even get through the day. It was so bad. And they just got worse, and it got to the point too where I couldn't really open my left eye. And I was kind of working through these, and I just thought maybe it's, I'm not having enough caffeine, or, it's the weather. That summer was really rainy, and so that always gives me a headache. So I had a show to go to, and went to that show, and when I came home, Jeff, my husband, said that I walked in and I was kind of, bobbling a little, and I just couldn't open this eye.
Like her equilibrium may have been off?
Yes.
Yeah. So I went upstairs and just got into bed and just kind of had my head, in my hands. And, he talked to a friend, and he ended up taking me straight to the ER at Sarasota Memorial. And 4 hours later, they told him that I had a brain tumor that needed to come out immediately.
Oh my God. And what was your first thought when they told you that?
My first thought, I didn't know. So they had me on so much medication that I had no idea what was going on.
What was your first thought, Joe?
I can describe it as kind of being in a twilight zone.
Had you ever gone through this with like a family member? Or?
Absolutely not. My wife's young and healthy and active, and we go to the ER with headaches and think we'll be home that night, no big deal. And our life literally got flipped upside down, and my head started spinning, and it was just a wild and crazy ride. She actually didn't have surgery immediately. They waited 5 days because there was, they needed to bring the swelling inside her brain down before they could actually do surgery. But, it was 6 days after her surgery. She was diagnosed with cancer, and then it started treatment, and it was just life stopped and cancer started. That's kind of what happened.
And how old were you, Denise? This is the crazy part. How old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was 33 years old.
33 years old. So this can happen to anyone, no matter what the age is. So let's talk about what about the remission and that sort of thing.
Right. So I went through initial treatment with Moffitt. So I did 6 weeks of radiation. So my mom drove me back and forth to Moffitt every day, and then did 14 months of chemotherapy. So 14 months. So I was on a 5-day on, 23-day off of chemo. Steroids also for swelling and headaches, and obviously pain medication.
Lost all your hair.
I did. Yep, I lost all my hair, and surprisingly not from the chemo. It's actually from the radiation. Made me lose all my hair, which is, in the scheme of things, not a big deal.
Right.
After researching a couple places, we ended up finding the Preston Robert Tisch Brain Tumor Center at Duke.
And the reason why I believe you're urging and talking about that specifically, because so many different cancers out there, and it being such a different type of cancer, except for when you were talking about how people have come together that have been kind of a community of cancer.
Yes.
And
Yes.
maybe Jeff can talk a little bit about this type of cancer, Jeff.
Yeah, her cancer is actually called glioblastoma. Most people say GBM because it's easier. The cancer is the most aggressive type of brain cancer there is. And just a few stats that are alarming and really eye-opening are average life expectancy is 12 to 15 months. There's only a 2 to 3% survival rate. It truly is one of the nastiest cancers you can probably get of all of them. But we held on to the fact that there were survivors and there was a chance of survival. And we didn't worry about the big picture. We just worried about the next step in front of us and trying to enjoy each day, each moment. We have a young child that's 7 years old now. He was only 3 at the time. We've been transparent with him the whole time. We've been transparent sharing our story with everybody the whole time. We've done a lot of fundraising, but this cancer is really nasty. We've lost more people than we care to, remember at this point that we've gotten connected to from this cancer. But we continue to go each day because that's the only choice we think we have. And, it was 4.5 years of clean scans, and then 2 months ago, a tumor pops up.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So you thought you were really kind of like out of the woods, right?
I never believed that I was out of the woods.
Okay.
Only because I know how aggressive this cancer is, and it's always going to come back. It's just a matter of when.
So probably having other people that have had this type of cancer that you've spoke to kind of helped you kind of stay that way, right? With getting awareness and having information about the cancer.
I think so. I felt like from the beginning, the day that I was told, it's like, I can't sit here and cry and be upset about it because it's not going to change anything.
Right.
I have this cancer, and that's not going to help me.
So I even learned something today because I always thought remission, you're out of the woods, and you said no, it's not it.
So you're not. So remission is basically I didn't have any active cancer cells at the time. But with my cancer, the tumor has fingers.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Okay, so how it was explained to us is that the tumor has fingers. So the fingers go all throughout my brain. So you can't get all of that.
So when you actually had brain surgery,
yes,
they cut out the mass, but the fingers
right,
obviously is what they continue to watch, right?
Right.
Yeah, their goal is to remove as much of the tumor as possible during surgery. And then the chemo and radiation is targeting what's left. And from everything they did, which was standard treatment for Denise, it kept her alive and fairly normal for 4 years. But like she was saying, you're never out of the woods with this cancer. It almost always comes back. And it came back, and we thought we were ready for it, but we weren't.
Never be ready.
And with the trust of our team at Duke, they do a trial there, a clinical trial with the polio virus. It's 25 years in the works in research. It's 5 years in the works with, human beings. She's actually the 71st person to have this done. And what they do is actually inject the polio virus into her brain tumor rather than do surgery and chemo, because the idea is the immune system is going to recognize the polio virus, it's going to attack the polio virus, and then it's going to eat away at the brain tumor. So it kind of destroys it from the inside out as long as things go as planned.
So this is an experimental type of treatment?
It's an experimental.
Like a guinea pig.
Okay, all right, wow. We have so much more to come. Please stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages. Thanks so much.
Check out what's happening at Goodwill, Minnesota. Go to experiencegoodwill.org.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the fight for Denise. Let's talk about the website and how people can come together and help Denise fight as well.
We have a Facebook page. We don't have a website. It's called Fight Like Denise. We're constantly posting on there updates on Denise and just inspirational things. We've always shared our story from day one. We've been transparent. We've gained strength through that. And we've received a lot of courage and hope from others. And we're going to continue to do that. So the Fight Like Denise page is huge. We have a giant fundraiser here today that's been organized by a lot of friends and our family, and it's truly amazing. We've done a lot of fundraising for others. Now it's, I guess, coming full circle to us, and we're just so thankful for that.
So on the Facebook page, you also have set up a funding?
Yeah, there's actually a GoFundMe on there currently. We have Fight Like Denise t-shirts. available, which are brand new. They look great. And, if we can raise awareness, biggest thing is to give others hope that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you can still have a life that's full and enjoy your closest people around you. That's what we want to do.
Absolutely. So we're here at this event today to help not only gain awareness, but obviously to help Denise fight. The funding is extremely expensive for this type of treatment, especially since it is experimental. Insurance companies obviously do not cover experimental treatment.
Travel, we have to fly to, I joke that North Carolina is our new home away from home because we have been there so much in the past 2 months. And,
Right.
It's flights, it's lodging, it's food, it's a lot. It's a lot, and coincidentally, we just opened our own business in November 1st,
Wow.
and so, taking a leap of faith and putting our savings and everything into it, and then it's like this
Right.
happens, and so
Wow.
it's a lot, but we're doing it.
And you're also giving awareness
Yes.
and letting people
Which is-
know what it is and
Right.
what it's all about. Thanks so much, Denise.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for joining us on this special segment to help Denise fight. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you again when we're out.
And About Sarasota.
Help Denise fight today. Go to Facebook, Fight Like Denise. Out and About Sarasota made possible by these fine sponsors. This has been an Out and About media production, product of Sarasota Socialites.